Hey boos, welcome back for the Big Bang Theory. So this here is a big, huge bang. Some people call it like a swoop bang. Growing up, my mother had this style. This was like her signature style, and it was like the feather bang, and she kind of did it on her natural hair. This is very reminiscent of that, and I'm going to teach you guys how to get it step by step. First, we're going to start off with the install, and this hair did come from a company by the name of Afsisterwig. Oh, and I'm Ashley. If you're tuning in for the first time, please make sure you are subscribed if you aren't, and if you are, don't forget to hit that post notification video because so much is coming up on the channel for the holidays, including weekly contests starting next week. So here we are with the packaging and the wig itself. This is a 13x6 Skin Melt Bob wig. Super nice. As you guys can see, the lace pretty much matches my skin. They give you this elastic band that you can take on or off, and it has like the bra strap effect. And this is the inside of the wig. You get 3 combs in the front, 1 in the back, and again you have those adjustable straps. So this is what the wig looks like on. They did give me a coupon code for you guys. It's ASH, aka Ash. You enter that at checkout and you'll get money off. So I'm gonna go right into it. I went ahead and pulled the wig, or the hair in the front back, and I'm gonna go ahead and just cut off the lace. Now this is super simple and easy for me, but of course it wasn't easy at first. I do have a tutorial, like a detailed tutorial on how I cut the lace off of my wigs coming up next. So make sure you stay tuned for that and you're subscribed if you are not already, so that you won't miss that video. But I'm just gonna go in and again cut off all of the lace, and then you guys can see when you cut it off, the lace pretty much lays flush with my skin and my hairline. It's not like extremely pre-plucked, but it's enough that it looks pretty natural in my opinion. And when you separate the hair in part, you can see how nicely that looks. You can definitely go in and bleach the knots a little bit more, but again, this is amazing to have just come straight out of the box. So again, I'm going to go ahead and bond it down. And we're not using glue, we're going to use actually a holding spray. Everything I'm using is listed in the description box if you didn't already know. And this is actually the next day. As you guys can see, my outfit changed, but nonetheless, you guys can see how amazing that hairline looks. We're going to go in and pretty much style now that we've already installed. So you guys can see when you part it, there is a little bit more parting than what was already pre-parted. I'm going to just use the heat to kind of like stamp in that parting, that way the hair won't, revert back. And then I realized I kind of wanted it to be more of a deep side part. Because it did come pre-parted, I did basically switch up the parting. So if that is a question for you, yes, you can switch up the parting however you want. I'm going to use some wax to kind of hold that in, and then of course some heat to go ahead and press that out. This is an electric hot comb and it works amazing. I don't know where I've been or what I was doing before I found this, but it definitely is a staple in my daily routine of how I slay my wigs. And this is pretty much a shot of what the wig looks like, pretty much installed with no style. I personally would have loved to go in and do a custom cut on this one, but that is not what we're here for today. Again, we are going to do the feather bang, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a simple straight bump of the ends. That way it can kind of look a little bit more salon ready. You kind of see a little bit of smoke, and that is because I did add a heat protectant off camera, and usually when you add a heat protectant, it kind of gives you the illusion that the hair is burning or that the iron is up too hot, but it's just pretty much that heat protectant doing its job. Also, if I did not mention, the wig is 12 inches in length, 150% density. This is a size medium cap, and you guys can see in the install, it fits super nice, especially with that elastic. And again, this is a 13x6 lace wig. So once I went ahead and pressed out and flat ironed and hot combed and did all of that, this is what it looks like, and it pretty much is ready to go. I did opt for no baby hair, and I think it looks pretty good, but we're going to definitely do the feathers. So I'm going to just take and part out a nice small piece in the front, push the rest of the hair out of the way. I'm going to take my flat iron and just curl backwards. Now you guys can see just a little bit of a bump. If you kind of just wanted to have a little bit of a bump in the front, that's all you would do. But if you kind of want the full on feather, you kind of roll and pretty much curl the entire length. The first time I curled just a little bump in the very front, like the first inch or two of the hair. This time I curled the entire length of the hair. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on the opposite side. I opted for a little bit of a sideburn. I kind of feel like that looked a little bit weird, so I just put the whole thing behind my ear. And if you just kind of like backwards flat iron curl it, this is pretty much what you would get. I'm gonna go ahead and do more, but I kind of wanted to show you just if you wanted to do something super simple, what it would look like. Of course, I added powder to the parting, even though it looked very nice and it was a skin melt situation where everything looked like skin. My skin is its own tone, so I kind of use a powder to make sure it blends perfectly. A wide tooth comb is the perfect tool to use to kind of play with your curl. You guys can see I added minimal heat. It just was one heat pass, and I think it looks pretty good, but of course I'm extra AF, so we are going to make it big. The bigger the better. So this is what it looks like, and I kind of just wanted to play with it and show you kind of like how I play with it to make it what it is. This is a close-up of the hairline, and I did feel like over on that side it was a little bit white, not because the lace was there was glue or it was lifting, but because sometimes with the lace doesn't match your skin perfectly, it can show up a little bit white. Now I did add a little bit of a holding spray, and it did add for a little bit of height, so be sure to do that if that is something you want to do. Otherwise, you just go ahead and use T-pins, or not T-pins, what do you call them, basically hair pins, to kind of like pin curl it to kind of hold the style. Or you can just go ahead and do what I do and just let it drop. Now this time around I'm going bigger, so I did 3 rows. So I did the first row, let it sit, the second row, let it sit, and this is the third row. And this is pretty much making sure I cover the entire what is this, my right side of the parting. And you guys can see, you just let it kind of like dry or cool actually before you touch it. And then I'm going to take the wide tooth comb. You don't want to take the red tooth comb, you want the wide tooth comb. I kind of see what I can do without playing with it or combing it. And as you guys can see, this is much bigger, much fuller, and I love it. Again, this is my mom's like signature hairstyle back in the day, and I think that's why I love it, because I'm so used to seeing her with this hairstyle. She would have like second, third, or like even fourth day hair. She would go ahead and just use some rollers to make this hairstyle, and this was like literally what she did every day with like some fuchsia lipstick. This is definitely like super duper 90s, but I absolutely love it. And you kind of just back comb it and use that wide tooth comb to kind of play with it. And then even when you kind of like comb it down, it still has that body. See how I comb it backwards, and it's like, oh, she lost the curl, but then you kind of like push it, mush it, and push it, I don't know what you would call it, forward, and all that curled, all that body is still there. And you kind of just use your hands to get it how you want it. And again, you can go over this with some hairspray to kind of hold it, or if it's a bit, you know, windy outside or something like that, you just kind of, you put your curlers in your purse and you can curl it up or whatever the case may be. But this is a bomb style and I absolutely love it. Go ahead and bump the rest of the hair to match if you choose. But yeah, check out the description bar for all the details on this wig, as well as a list and link of everything I used. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Smooches!